Stretching across the heart of the African Savannah lies a vast region defined by dramatic contrasts. South of the renowned Chobe National Park lies the Savuti area, a land shaped by the relentless force of nature. This is a territory where dry, sandy ground meets lush swamps, creating a unique yet challenging ecosystem for those who dare to call it home. The Savuti landscape is as beautiful as it is treacherous. During the dry season, intense heat dominates, turning the ground into a blanket of dust. Twisted trees and resilient grasses, the arid scenery, while dry streams wait patiently for seasonal rains to revive the region. When those rains finally arrive, the swamps come alive, attracting an abundance of herbivores, zebras, antelopes, and buffalo, and, consequently, fierce predators. It is in this volatile environment that the kings of the savanna battle for territory and survival. Historically, Savuti has been the stage for legendary disputes among the greatest predators of the animal kingdom. No story of this land would be complete without mentioning the great lions who ruled the region with strength and cunning. Among them, Sekekama and Torn Nose, two legendary males, left an indelible mark on history. Under their leadership, the territory was held with iron claws, while their lineage spread throughout the region. They were the true lords of Savuti, facing any challenge that arose, whether from other lions or the unpredictable forces of nature. Yet, Savuti is not just a land of kings. It is also a constant battlefield. Competition for resources is fierce, and only the strongest prevail. With every generation, new coalitions of lions emerge, vying for their place at the top of the hierarchy. Some coalitions thrive, while others quickly fade into obscurity. It is an eternal dance between survival and extinction. Amid this glory and struggle, a new saga was about to be written. A promising generation would rise from the shadows of the great rulers of the past. The rebellious sons of Sekekama and Torn Nose, known as the Three Rebels, were forged in this unforgiving environment. Their story, marked by courage, challenges, and mystery, would echo throughout the savannah, becoming part of Savuti's rich legacy. This is the beginning of an epic journey, where the fight for survival and the quest for power shape not only territories but also destinies. In Savuti, each sunset marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of another, and the saga of the Three Rebels was just beginning. The story of the Three Rebels begins within one of the region's most respected clans, the Marsh Pride. This group, under the command of the legendary Sekekama and Torn Nose, was a formidable force in Savuti's savannah. For years, these two males not only protected their territory but also established a dynasty that would mark the history of the region. It was under their reign that Blondie, Pretty Boy, and Laughter were born in mid-2013. Hey everyone, if you're just like me and also passionate about wildlife and haven't subscribed yet, support our work by subscribing to our channel and leave suggestions for videos you'd like to see. The brothers' early years were defined by the safety provided by their parents, but also by the brutality that shapes all young predators. Sekekama, a colossal leader with an imposing build and dark mane, was known for his ruthless demeanor. He not only kept rivals at bay, but also ruled with strict discipline within the pride. Torn Nose, in contrast, was a battle-scarred warrior whose appearance told of fierce encounters, perfectly complementing Sekekama's leadership. Under the tutelage of these two males, Blondie, Pretty Boy, and Laughter gained valuable lessons in hunting, defense, and the unforgiving laws of the savannah. From a young age, the three brothers displayed striking and, at times, conflicting personalities. Blondie, with his brilliant golden mane, stood out for his bold energy and natural inclination to lead, even during playful moments. Pretty Boy, the most charming, possessed a striking appearance that contrasted with his emerging ferocity. Laughter, the most carefree of the three, seemed to approach life with a lighthearted spirit but was no less effective in showcasing his strength when needed. As the brothers grew, it became clear that they were a promising generation. Under their parents' protection, they began participating in hunts and stood out for their vitality and determination. The brothers' teamwork skills were remarkable, and they quickly became key players in capturing larger prey, such as zebras and wildebeests for the Marsh Pride. However, The brothers' growth brought new challenges to the group's balance. As Blondie, Pretty Boy, and Laughter grew stronger, tensions with the dominant Sekekama and Torn Nose began to surface. The relationship between fathers and sons shifted, evolving from protective guidance to latent rivalry. The young lions, once seen as allies, began to be perceived as threats to the established leadership. These tensions reached a critical point when the brothers started directly challenging their parents' authority. Small confrontations, previously mere lessons in discipline, transformed into real disputes. Recognizing the young lions' potential as future rivals, Sekekama and Torn Nose decided their stay in the Marsh Pride had come to an end. Around 2016, Blondie, Pretty Boy, and Laughter were expelled from the group, a pivotal moment in their lives. Forced to leave the comfort and protection of the Marsh Pride, the three brothers faced a completely different world. Now exiled, they had to learn to survive on their own, without the support of their parents or the structure of the pride. While exile is a rite of passage for many young male lions, few had the potential the three rebels exhibited. They were determined not just to survive but to thrive. As a united coalition, the brothers had everything they needed: strength, strategy, and a deep connection that made them more dangerous together than apart. This adaptation period was crucial for solidifying their bond. Blondie, with his dominant personality, naturally assumed a leadership role, while Pretty Boy and Laughter brought balance to the group with their unique skills and distinct personalities. Together, the three rebels began carving their path, exploring new territories, and confronting the challenges exile presented. The early years outside the Marsh Pride were marked by battles against hunger, encounters with larger predators, and even confrontations with other lion groups. However, the brothers quickly adapted. Every victory and defeat strengthened their coalition, molding them into an emerging force that began to attract attention across the region. This new phase in the lives of the three rebels was just the beginning of an epic journey. Far from the shadows of their parents, they were ready to forge their own legacy and secure a place in the history of the Savannah. The departure of the three rebels from the Marsh Pride marked the start of a survival journey in a ruthless world. Without the protection of their parents or the comfort of their birth group, Blondie, Pretty Boy, and Laughter now faced a territory teeming with threats, from rival predators to food shortages. This was the ultimate test of their unity and skills. Exile is an inevitable experience for young male lions. As they grow and pose a threat to the leadership of the dominant males in the pride, they are expelled to prevent future rivalries. For the three rebels, this moment came sooner than expected, but they faced the challenge with resilience. Bound by fraternal ties, they quickly learned to confront the dangers of the wild. The first days of exile were fraught with uncertainty. Deprived of their parents' experience, the brothers had to hunt on their own. Although they had learned basic hunting techniques while in the Marsh Pride, group hunting was very different from hunting without the support of a structured pride. Hunger became a constant, driving them to risk encounters with other predators, such as hyenas and leopards, in disputes over carcasses. It was during this period that the strength of the coalition began to manifest. Blondie, the most dominant brother, naturally assumed the role of leader, guiding the others with determination and strategic vision. Pretty Boy, with his combination of ferocity and cunning, excelled in ambushes and coordinated attacks. Laughter, with his laid-back nature, often served as the glue that held the group together, even in the most difficult moments. Despite the initial challenges, the three rebels began adapting to their new reality. Hunting together was essential, and the brothers quickly developed an impressive synergy. Their strategies, based on cooperation and mutual trust, allowed them to take down larger prey, such as zebras and wildebeests. Each victory not only nourished their bodies but also bolstered their confidence in their ability to survive and thrive. As they explored new territories, the three rebels frequently encountered other male lion groups. These meetings were a mix of direct confrontations and intimidation tactics. On some occasions, the coalition opted to avoid fights, recognizing that survival depended on calculated decisions. However, when there was no other option, they fought ferociously, solidifying their reputation as an emerging force in the savannah. During this phase, the coalition grew even stronger. a half-brother known as the Sand Ridge Male, joined the group. Born in 2014 to a small pride in a neighboring area, he brought a new layer of strength and experience. With 4 members, the coalition now seemed unstoppable. Together, they marched northward, expanding their reach and pressing the boundaries of rival groups. Exile was not merely a period of survival, it was a relentless training ground. Each fight, each hunt, and each victory shaped the 3 rebels and their new ally into a formidable coalition. The Savannah left no room for weakness, and they were determined to prove that they were not just survivors but future kings, ready to claim their place in the Savannah's hierarchy. Having overcome the challenges of exile, the 3 rebels, now joined by the Sand Ridge Male, began consolidating their strength and expanding their territory. Driven by the necessity to survive and fueled by ambition, the 4 lions formed a formidable coalition, capable of challenging rival groups and exploring previously unattainable territories. This new phase marked the start of their ascent, but also brought the first conflicts that would test the group's loyalty and strength. The coalition's first major achievement was the invasion of northern territories dominated by 2 veteran males known for their strength and experience. These males led the Northern Pride, a strategically located group near a resource-rich hunting area. Initially, the 3 rebels and the Sand Ridge Male employed intimidation tactics to weaken their adversaries, gradually forcing the dominant males to retreat to the Leniente region. This victory was not only territorial but also symbolic, signaling the arrival of a new force in the Savannah. The coalition seemed unstoppable. Moving with precision and working as a cohesive unit, they intimidated and subdued rival groups. Their group hunting skills also made them extremely efficient, allowing them to feed not only themselves but also the females who began to join them. The alliance with these females brought new responsibilities, protecting the group and the newborn cubs from the constant threats posed by nomadic males. By around 2018, the 3 rebels and the Sand Ridge Male had finally consolidated their control over the Northern Pride. This victory marked the coalition's peak. They were now the dominant males of a vast, strategic territory with access to abundant resources. It was also during this period that the coalition's first descendants were born, further solidifying their legacy. The sight of cubs playing among the females was a clear sign that the dynasty of the 3 rebels was on the rise. However, the Savannah is a constant battleground, and success always comes with new challenges. During one of the incursions to defend the territory, the Sand Ridge Male suffered a serious injury, apparently caused by prey during a hunt. Despite his strength and determination, he could not fully recover and disappeared shortly thereafter. His absence dealt a severe blow to the coalition, which now had to reorganize and continue with just 3 members. Even with this loss, Blondie, Pretty Boy, and Laughter remained a formidable force. Each played a crucial role in the coalition. Blondie, with his strategic leadership, Pretty Boy, with his ferocity and protective instincts, and Laughter, the quieter member, but equally vital to the group's dynamics. Together, they compensated for the absence of the Sand Ridge Male, proving they were still capable of defending their territory and expanding their dominance. As they solidified their power, tensions began to rise with other groups, particularly the Marsh Pride, led by the legendary Sekekama and Torn Nose. This rivalry was inevitable, given the coalition's growth and their need to expand hunting territories. Small clashes began to occur between the 2 groups, both vying for control over the prey-rich areas. The 3 rebels demonstrated remarkable skill in balancing attacks and defenses. At times, they strategically retreated to avoid unnecessary losses. At others, they confronted their enemies with brutality. Yet, even at their peak, the 3 rebels knew that a direct confrontation with Sekekama and Torn Nose posed a significant risk. Small clashes began to occur between the 2 groups, both vying for control over the prey-rich areas. The 3 rebels demonstrated remarkable skill in balancing attacks and defenses. At times, they strategically retreated to avoid unnecessary losses. At others, they confronted their enemies with brutality. Yet, even at their peak, the 3 rebels knew that a direct confrontation with Sekekama and Torn Nose posed a significant risk. The 2 veterans remained dominant forces in the region, with years of experience and a proven track record of victories. The rise of the three rebels was a spectacle of strength and strategy, but also a reminder that the Savannah does not forgive weaknesses. Each victory came with new threats, requiring the coalition to constantly adapt to survive. As they solidified their position in the hierarchy, it became clear that their greatest test was still ahead. The inevitable confrontation with their legendary parents loomed, and the three rebels would need all their strength and intelligence to face the challenge. The coalition of the three rebels reached its zenith between 2018 and 2019. With control over the Northern Pride firmly established and their territory well protected, Blondie, Pretty Boy, and Laughter became symbols of power and resilience in the Savannah. This was a moment of glory for the group, marked by successes both on the battlefield and in building their dynasty. Under their leadership, the Northern Pride thrived. The Pride's females, strengthened by their new leader's support, brought a new generation of lions into the world. These cubs represented not only the coalition's continuity, but also the promise of a lasting legacy. The three rebels were vigilant protectors, ensuring the safety of their offspring with ferocity. While male lions rarely interact directly with cubs in social dynamics, their presence as guardians was unmistakable. The group displayed impressive organization, with each brother playing a crucial role in the coalition's success. Blondie, the boldest, remained the group's strategic figure, calculating moves to expand their territory without exposing them to unnecessary risks. Pretty Boy, with his striking appearance and brute strength, acted as the primary defender, ensuring that no invader threatened the group's safety. Laughter, though quieter, was essential for the coalition's cohesion, mediating conflicts and maintaining unity. During this period, the Northern Pride grew significantly, reaching nearly 20 members. This growth brought benefits but also challenges. With a larger group, the need for food increased, demanding constant hunts and well-planned strategies to ensure success. The three rebels expertly coordinated group hunts, leveraging their strength and experience to take down large prey such as buffalo and zebras. Their ability to provide for the group reinforced their position as indisputable leaders. However, the Pride's success began to draw unwanted attention. Rivals, particularly nomadic males in the region, started to observe the Northern Pride with interest. Rival coalitions, smaller in number but equally ambitious, often tested the territory's boundaries, seeking opportunities to infiltrate. Blondie, Pretty Boy, and Laughter were forced to defend their territory repeatedly, showcasing their strength and skill in every confrontation. Among the notable battles of this era was a skirmish with a group of young males led by Sekekama, an emerging lion who would later gain prominence. Despite the pressure, the three rebels held their ground, repelling the attacks and ensuring their pride remained intact. These encounters bolstered their reputation as one of the region's most powerful coalitions. Beyond external threats, the group faced internal challenges. Blondie, who had previously led with confidence, suffered a permanent injury to one of his hind legs during a hunt. While this limited his mobility, he continued to play an active role in the coalition, relying on Pretty Boy and Laughter to compensate for his limitations. This mutual loyalty underscored the strength of the brothers' bond, which remained steadfast even in the face of adversity. However, tensions with the Marsh Pride escalated during this time. Clashes between the two groups intensified, particularly over hunting areas near the swamp. Sekekama and Torn Nose, the legendary fathers of the three rebels, showed no willingness to relinquish territory, and the rivalry between the two generations began to take shape. Despite their dominance, the coalition's success was fleeting. The balance of power in the Savannah is inherently unstable, and even the strongest coalitions face their moment of decline. For Blondie, Pretty Boy, and Laughter, this turning point began with the loss of a vital member. Blondie's injury, sustained in a previous hunt, became a more significant hindrance than expected. Although his determination remained unshaken, his reduced mobility limited his contributions during territorial defenses and clashes with rivals. Pretty Boy and Laughter took on greater responsibilities, but the absence of Blondie's active leadership subtly, yet significantly, weakened the coalition. Moreover, external threats grew in intensity. A rival group, led by the ambitious young lion Sekekama, began pressuring the Northern Pride's boundaries. Sekekama and his coalition were numerous and aggressive, constantly testing the rebels with swift attacks and unpredictable strategies. Each clash drained the coalition's energy, which was now spread thin defending their territory, the females and the cubs. Amid this mounting pressure came a devastating blow: the disappearance of Blondie and Laughter. At some point in 2020, both brothers vanished without clear explanations. Guides and observers in the region speculated various causes, from severe injuries sustained in battles to diseases or even a strategic decision to retreat temporarily. The disappearance of Blondie and Laughter left Pretty Boy alone to face increasingly daunting challenges. The once formidable trio had been reduced to a single lion struggling to maintain what was left of the Northern Pride. Pretty Boy demonstrated remarkable resilience, facing rivals with courage and determination. He continued to protect the females and cubs, keeping the lineage alive for a time. However, his position became untenable. The absence of his brothers left him at a clear numerical disadvantage, especially against Sekekama and his growing coalition, which strengthened with each passing day. Confrontations became more frequent and intense, forcing Pretty Boy to retreat to less contested territories, such as the Goha region. There, he was occasionally seen with a few females and cubs, attempting to rebuild a small familial unit. The coalition, once synonymous with power and unity, was now rapidly disintegrating. The loss of Blondie and Laughter was not just a matter of numbers but also morale. Pretty Boy, though still an imposing figure, struggled against the tide of younger, more organized forces. His solitude symbolized the end of an era and the fragility of power in the savannah. The three rebels, who once defied the odds and conquered territories, were now on the brink of disappearing entirely. The savannah continued its relentless cycle as new coalitions emerged to fill the void they left behind. Though inevitable, the decline did not erase the legacy the rebels built. Instead, it paved the way for the next chapter in the struggle for supremacy. The disappearance of Blondie and Laughter in 2020 marked the beginning of a period of uncertainty and mystery for the coalition of the three rebels. To this day, their fate remains unknown. Some guides and researchers suggest they may have been killed in battles with younger, more ambitious rivals, while others speculate they succumbed to injuries or diseases, natural consequences of life in the savannah. The truth is, the savannah rarely offers clear explanations. It simply moves on, leaving the past shrouded in silence. With the departure of his two brothers, Pretty Boy became the lone survivor of a coalition that once commanded respect and fear. Solitude turned his life into an even greater challenge. He now bore sole responsibility for protecting the territory, the females, and the cubs of the Northern Pride, facing ever-growing threats, particularly from Sekekama and his expanding coalition. Pretty Boy, loyal to his family's legacy, fought with courage and determination. His majestic appearance, which earned him the name Pretty Boy, remained a reminder of the power he once represented. Yet the reality was that he stood at a severe disadvantage. Rival coalitions, larger and more vigorous, continually pressured the boundaries of his territory. The land he once shared with his brothers became increasingly difficult to defend alone. Clashes with Sekekama grew more frequent and intense. Accompanied by his young allies, Sekekama employed intimidation tactics and swift attacks to undermine Pretty Boy's dominance. Though Pretty Boy showed admirable resistance, his ability to maintain the coalition and the Northern Pride intact began to weaken. Before long, the territory was divided, and some Northern Pride females allied with the rivals to ensure their cubs' survival under the protection of a new dominant group. Facing the loss of territory and the fragmentation of his group, Pretty Boy made a difficult decision: to abandon the central area of the Northern Pride and retreat to the Goha region, where he could avoid direct confrontations and attempt to rebuild his life. There, he was occasionally observed, still demonstrating his strength and dignity. In some of these sightings, he was accompanied by females and cubs, suggesting he continued striving to preserve his lineage, albeit on a smaller scale. The years following the coalition's decline were marked by silence. Neither Blondie, Laughter, nor Pretty Boy were ever seen again. Their fates remained shrouded in mystery, fueling speculation and legend among guides and observers in the region. Some believe they may have perished in battles or due to hunger, while others imagine they still roam the savannah, living their lives in the shadows, far from human eyes. Although the coalition of the three rebels disbanded, their impact on Savuti's savannah endures. They not only shaped the territory's dynamics for years, but also left a lineage that, directly or indirectly, continues to influence the groups inhabiting the region. Their disappearances reflect the ephemeral nature of power in the savannah, but also highlight the resilience and strength that define these majestic predators. The savannah continues its course, indifferent to the tragedies and triumphs that unfold upon its soil. Yet for those who witnessed the rise and fall of the three rebels, their stories remain a reminder of the relentless fight for survival and the inevitable passage of time. The journey of the three rebels, Blondie, Pretty Boy, and Laughter, embodies the essence of the savannah, a place of beauty, brutality, and constant transformation. Born under the reign of the legendary Sekekama and Torn Nose, they defied the odds, conquered territories, and left a legacy that still echoes across the lands of Savuti. Their journey, marked by challenges from exile to dominance over the Northern Pride, showcased the strength of familial bonds and the ability to adapt amidst adversity. At their peak, they were symbols of power, leading a prosperous pride and protecting a new generation. Yet, like all stories in nature, their reign was finite. The disappearance of Blondie and Laughter, and Pretty Boy's isolation, symbolized the fragility of power in the savannah, where even the greatest kings face decline. The mystery surrounding their fate only enriches their legend. Whether they met their end in battle or wandered distant lands, the three rebels left an undeniable mark. Their descendants continue to write their story, and the territories they once ruled still resonate with the memory of their strength. In the savannah, where each day brings new challenges, the story of the three rebels serves as a reminder of the struggle for survival and the eternal cycle of rise and fall. They represent not only the glory of the past, but also the resilience that defines wildlife. Even in their disappearance, their legacy endures, inspiring those who witnessed their greatness and the generations that follow. The three rebels may have disappeared from the savannah, but their story remains alive, a tribute to the struggle for life in one of the wildest and most unforgiving places on the planet. If you enjoy these fascinating documentaries about wildlife, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Until next time.